Now, the late Princess Diana easily had one of the most iconic haircuts of all time. Those effortless blonde tousled 90s locks still used as inspiration by many all around the world.
Now, the man behind that look is Richard Dalton, who worked as Di's personal hairdresser for over a decade, having met her at just 17 years old.
And for the first time on Australian TV, Richard is here to share his fond memories and moments with Di that have been documented in his new book, It's All About the Hair.
Richard Dalton joins us now alongside Renee Plant, who wrote the book. Good morning. Great to have you with us, guys. Richard, you did Diana's hair daily at Kensington Palace. Set the scene for us. What was a day in the life of your, interaction with Diana like?
Well, I think after a decade, it became pretty routine. I would go through security at the door, but just waving, and then I'd get into the palace, probably trying to have a cup of tea, but she always knew I was there early, and she would shout, "Richard!" So I would run up the stairs and stand in the doorway, and I'd say, "Good morning, Your Royal Highness," and that was it. On with the hair.
So she actually relied on you to sneak tabloids into the palace, didn't she? What did she used to say to you about what she read?
Well, it got to the stage that, I'd be doing her hair, and she would be looking at me, and then put it down on the floor, and look it down on the floor. But she was just interested in that. She needed to know what was going on, or she used to call the GPs, which were the general public. She always liked to know what they were talking about.
Did she?
She would have just gotten so sick of it, right? Those magazines coming in daily as well. Now, also, Richard, interesting to hear, Harry and William, you gave them their first haircuts too. Did you do that regularly? And what was the first thing William did when he saw you coming?
Well, I used to go up to the nursery, and William would run and put a little chair on top of the coffee table, and there's a chair, there's a coffee table. And he always liked it because he always got extra television. And it made it easier, but sometimes I would go up not doing the hair, and he would just say, "Oh, no." I said, no, not hair today," because he always thought he was getting extra television.
Oh, they're gorgeous photos you've got there too. Renee, you're an Aussie who runs the Princess Diana Museum in LA. You actually included some of those items in the book and have brought some today.
Yeah, so we've been, curating the Princess Diana Museum for the past 8 years, and there's over 2,700 historical items in that museum. And I thought it'd be a really good thing to incorporate it into the book and make it interactive with QR codes that actually link you straight back out to the items that Diana was wearing in the book. And so we bought some of the pumps that she actually wore the day I met her in Sydney. At St Andrew's Cathedral. They're incredible. Ferragamo pumps. And then we also have the Philip Somerville hat that she wore in Melbourne in 1985.
Oh, wow.
And so to be able to click on the link and then see these items directly in the museum, it's kind of an archival repository, so to speak, to kind of preserve all these incredible items for history.
The great thing here too is you both wanted people to read in the book, to learn a little bit something about Diana that they didn't know. Renee, what was that?
Oh, there were so many wonderful stories. Hearing Richard for the first time talk about Diana was just a gift in itself. But honestly, I think that the biggest thing I got out of it was Diana had a really wicked sense of humour. She would write cards that were so funny, give them back to people, but she would actually carry plastic vomit and plastic poop in her bag and put them on the seats on planes to kind of have fun with the staff while they were travelling. And I think
that'd been a long trip to Australia.
Yeah,
it was
I think that was
36 hours.
Yeah, really endearing to show that kind of quality about her, that she was just a human, kind, compassionate, loving, caring human that we lost all too early.
Oh, didn't we? Just watching these pictures is just amazing. Richard, you've also included some never-before-seen photos in the book. How does it feel sharing the version of Diana that you knew?
Well, that one in particular showing now, that was on our first tour to Albury. I think we stayed there, and that's where they were staying at the farm, and every day he has to go and see them. But the photographs been with me for a long time, and it's really nice to share them all. And doing it in the book with Renee, which we've had really, really good fun.
We've had a fun time.
Making it.
Yeah.
Richard, just back on the hair, because it's all about the hair. Did she just love the flicks? Where did you get the idea for that?
Well, it evolved. I mean, over the 10 years, I did many looks. Slick back, for a photo shoot that was not supposed to be seen, but it appeared after the photographer sadly passed. and it was in the Victorian. I think no, it was one of the museums in London, and I suddenly went, "Whoa, that's not supposed to be seen." But I changed her hair wherever we were going, but I just cut it inches, minuscule, so it didn't hit the headlines, and we really, different looks, but without it detecting from what she was actually charity or whatever she was actually showing.
Oh, we're so glad that you've shared your stories in this book. Renee, Richard, thank you so much for your time this morning.
Thank you so much. You can get it on our website, theprincessdianamuseum.org, or at the foundation, theprincessandtheplatypus.org.
Thank you very much, guys.
And Thanks for having us.
If you'd like to buy a copy of Richard and Renee's book or the digital book, It's All About the Hair, visit the Sunrise website for all those details.